Picture this. You've been grinding for years, cutting back on dinners out, saying no when friends want to splurge, hustling nights and weekends. Every month, you stash away a little cash, but your bank account barely moves. It feels like running on a treadmill, working harder and harder, but staying in the same place.
And then, one day, something changes. You cross a milestone, a single number that flips your financial world upside down. That number is $100,000. And here's the crazy part. Almost every self-made millionaire says the same thing. The first 100K is the hardest, but it's also the most important.
Take a look at this graph. If you invest $10,000 per year in the market, assuming an 8% annual return, it will take you 7.6 years to reach your first 100,000. That's why it feels impossible. It's like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops, because at this stage, compound growth hasn't really kicked in yet. But look at what happens after this point. Everything starts growing faster and faster. This is the snowball effect everyone talks about. Let's put it into perspective. With $10,000 invested, an 8% return is only $800 in a year. At $100,000, it's $8,000. At $500,000, it's $40,000, which is basically a full-time salary for many people. And at $1 million, you're making $80,000 a year without lifting a finger. That's why the first 100,000 is so special. It's the point where your money finally starts working harder than you. Now, notice that going from 500,000 to $1 million takes just 7.5 years. That's less time than going from 0 to 100,000. You're literally making 5 times more money in the same amount of time. That's why you should do everything in your power to reach this tipping point. But it's not just about math. A psychological shift happens in your brain when you hit 100K. Up until then, money feels like something that's constantly slipping through your fingers. You get paid, bills eat half of it, the rest vanishes on rent, groceries, or random expenses. But once you cross 100K, you realize money is no longer just a tool you spend. It's a machine that multiplies if you feed it. Hitting 100K teaches you discipline, patience, and confidence. It gives you peace of mind. For the first time, you know you could handle a surprise expense, or even a short period without a job. That financial cushion buys freedom. Maybe you finally feel confident enough to take a risk at work, start a side business, or just sleep better at night. Now, let's talk strategies to hit that first 100K faster. How do you actually get there without burning out? Here's what really moves the needle. Grow your income. Don't just focus on cutting coffee. Yes, saving matters, but your income potential is unlimited. Your ability to cut back is not. That's why things like asking for raises, switching to higher paying jobs, leveling up your skills, or starting a side hustle can completely change the game. Think of it this way. Person A saves $200 a month forever. Person B boosts their income by $500 a month and invests it. Who gets to 100K first? Person B, and it's not even close. 2. Get rid of bad debt. Not all debt is created equal. A mortgage at 3% interest, that's manageable, and in some cases, it's even strategic to keep it. But high interest debt, like credit cards at 15-20%, or car loans at 8-10%, that stuff crushes your ability to build wealth. Think about it. If the stock market historically returns around 8% a year, but you're paying 15% on credit cards, you're already in the red before you even start. Clearing out bad debt is like giving yourself an instant return, and it frees up cash you can actually put to work. 3. Invest early and consistently. The earlier you start, the more time compound interest has to work for you. Even small amounts invested regularly can snowball into something huge over time. Think of investing like planting seeds. The sooner you start, the sooner those trees grow and multiply. Waiting just 5 years could mean you're missing out on tens of thousands in growth down the road. You don't need to overcomplicate it. A simple, broad index fund like the S&P 500 already outperforms most investors over time. The secret isn't timing the market, it's time in the market. So start as soon as you can, keep it consistent, and let compounding do the heavy lifting. So, if you're stuck in the grind right now, frustrated that your savings don't seem to move the needle, don't quit. The first 100K is the steepest climb, but it's also the most important.